Kiet. How are you?
I'm good, Tatiana. Nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you too. I
Mhm.
really enjoyed The Princess. I love how you just hit the ground running. Like there's no room to breathe from the very start. How do you prepare for that? And how do you prepare Joey for that?
uh, it it's all in the story. It's constructing it, and we wanted to hit the ground running. We knew our fans are going to come in there and just say, okay, what else are you going to give me? I get it. There's a princess. She's trapped in a tower. It's a universal story all across the globe. Everybody knows the image of it, and I think that was enough. And then we just wanted to pull the rug under everybody. Um, and Joey, for Joey to be ready for all this, we really hit the ground with her too. It was like the very first day when she wrapped to her last movie, she was already in the gym. And she's so committed. She's so
Mm,
ready for it. And we trained her the basics, but she's such a well-trained actress in terms of being on set since, she was a little kid. She picked up all the notes really quickly in terms of, okay, look, we only need this, we only need that because this is a movie. We're only shooting a certain things. The drama is really good. What's going to sell the action, and there's a story within the fight. So we gave her every tools and everything to work with, especially with an action team like this, who's all behind her. It takes a village. She got all the support, but in the end, it's her doing it, and she did.
right. And she did fabulously.
Yeah.
What was the most challenging aspect for you? Was there any scene or stunt that took the most work to make happen, or that was the
Mhm.
hardest to get from your vision to the screen?
Mhm. In a technical sense, the stairway was the most difficult for us because we were trying to make this big structure work visually and orient everybody. But not only that, made it safe for the stunt team, which there could be like 30 guys at one time at one place in this set that was built. And we had to deal with safety and all that and visual effects. And so that was technically a very difficult scene to construct together. And, I think it works really well. But physically, surprisingly, the hard scene that we had a hard time with was when we shot outside in the forest where she was being taught by Lin. We kept it beautiful and we kept it very kind of like Crouching Tiger kind of visual, but we didn't realize that was going to be straining on the actors because we couldn't use doubles, because
Mm,
we didn't cut. We had wide shots only, but they didn't complain. They just went through the fights, didn't have breaks within the take, and they just did it like 50 times
oh,
out in the
wow.
really hot weather. And that was one of the toughest days. Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine. Speaking of Lynn, I think her dynamic with Princess was my
Mhm.
favorite aspect of the film. I love the different training styles and mentor relationship and how it feels like there's so much unspoken between them. Can you talk
Mhm.
about approaching that relationship and working with both actresses together?
Sure. So the princess's journey, it was already structured that she's supposed to be doing this in secret. She's not meant to be this warrior, and she had to hide it. And so Lynn was built into the script as this mentor and this person of inspiration that she can rely on, other than her parents or her family. Um, so that we leaned more into that because we wanted that heart to surprise, to kind of give her the strength throughout the whole film. And even at the end, when there's this great earned moment that they've been through something together and they've conquered this kind of patriarchal society that is burning them. So we felt that Lynn's character had to be this heartfelt. And from an action movie, that's hard to do because you want the action fans to appreciate the action, but then you don't want people to come into a soulless movie.
Right.
Yeah.
I love how you said, kind of like the archetype of the
Mm-hmm.
princess and her story is already present in our minds, which it very much is. We can just like fill in the blanks.
Mm-hmm.
But for you, when you're on set or when you're talking with the actors, did they ever ask for blanks? Like, or like, oh, tell me more about this aspect or tell me more about this background for this character.
We did. We tried our best to create this world of this antiquity world that could have existed, and it was a certain time in history that this society tried its best to exist the way that it should. But, our actors are so good at filling in the blanks, and every scene, they just made it all work together because they're professionals and they're way better at it than me. But I talked to Lin about how she's a warrior and how she's in a war-torn country, and she's more or less an immigrant into this land, and she's been accepted, and it's not utopia, but she's been somewhere. And here's the princess who's growing up. She's grown up in diversity. All around her is diversity, and she's used to that. And she knows what's right and what's wrong. And for a young person like that who's in navigating this world, she's willing to take the risk to fight for it.
Absolutely. Yeah. When you're looking for your next project, or when you are going to jump on board a project, what is it that you most want to bring to the table, and what is it that draws you to your next work?
First and foremost, it's character. If there's something for me to do there that elevates that character, I think that's the starting point. And then after that, if I have room enough to breathe in terms of designing the set pieces, the action set piece, or even the drama set pieces that does well with tension or character, development, that just drives me to be consistently improving. And that's really what makes a great movie, because you can never come into a movie, even before you shoot, knowing exactly how it's going to be. You consistently have to change and improve when you feel that your characters and the movie deserves it.
Now, Dominic Cooper as the villain is deliciously evil. How much fun is it to lean into that? Like, how were you ever like more, or actually like, oh my God, too much?
Dominic and I really wanted to go all out on this character. Like, he wanted to try things. He wanted to be nasty. He wanted to be vicious. He also wanted to be debonair and like the hunky that he is and his romantic comedies. But he wanted to be this great, a lot of levels in terms of range, like Preacher. And I said, yes, those are all great things that you should be trying and do. And it's because he brought the villain soul to this character that is not really clear on page, because on page, it's a very standard archetypal character. But here's this person that comes across as this narcissistic, but kind of has a reason for what he's doing. And there are people out there in this world that has that reason. And so I felt that he was very believable and very relevant in our times.
Well, you are not wrong about that, unfortunately. But thank you so much. I had a great time.
He does get a pretty fun ending at the end, right?
Yes, that is for sure. Thank you so much. The film is great, and I cannot wait to see your next work.